You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. I'm Jen.
And I'm Megan, and we're two boss babes sharing our businesses and inspiring you along the way.
And we're back in person and so excited. Megan did a solo episode last week, and now we're back in action. It is a very rainy, gloomy April over here in New England. I actually went to a comedy show on Saturday, and it was in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and his name was Bob Marley. And he is like a New England comedian. He's older.
Oh.
Have you ever seen him? Oh
I know a different Bob Marley.
Yeah, I know you do. Sure you do. It was funny because I was telling, very long story short, I won't go into this, but my mother-in-law watched all of the kids. So 4 kids and a baby, basically.
Oh
Her sister came and helped too, but that was a lot. So my in-laws all got to go out together. So for Christmas, nice. She got us tickets to this comedy show, and we were like, all right, we'll make an overnight out of it. It was in Plymouth, and have you ever been to Plymouth? Super cute area, like very upcoming. My mother-in-law lives like 25 minutes from it, so it was like perfect.
Cool. That's where The Rock is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And they have like so it's not the original Mayflower, but it's like a replica of it.
Cool.
And my husband and I like walked around down there, and it was rainy April showers bring May flowers. It is truly living it this year.
Yeah.
But it was so fun. So anyway, I was talking to this woman in one of the shops. My husband had his zip up on that said Lake Sunapee, which is where we got married.
New Hampshire.
Yeah. And we started talking about it, and we were like, oh, we're here for the comedy show. We're going to see Bob Marley. And she totally thought it was the other one, and we were like, no, it's a comedian. But anyway, he's from Maine, and he specifically does like jokes about New England. So it's so relatable. Okay. And I was crying. I was laughing so hard. And like, I've gone to like comedy shows in New York that it has like multiple different people, so like you get different different views on things. But it was just him, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna laugh for an hour and a half with one person. I was crying. Like, I was laughing so hard. It was so fun. We had such a blast.
So good.
It was just so relatable to like one of the things he says was like, when you're at a family party, and again, he's older, so he still has his parents, I think. And he's like, yeah, when when that grandma comes in and everyone's got to make way because she's got to sit somewhere and she can't move for the rest of the party. It's like, that's where grandma's sitting. And like everything he said was just so relatable to everything. So we had a really good time. And then we went out to like 5 different places after. Went to this one wine bar where you serve your own wine.
Ooh.
Which was really cool. You like get a card, and then it's just like a whole wall of wines, and you could either do samples, you could do like half a pour or a full pour, so you could like try different things. So it was really fun.
That's fun.
And they had like a bunch of board games and like card games that you could play and stuff, so we had a really good time.
Aww.
Yeah. And then my mother-in-law watched all 5 kids, which she said she only had 2 meltdowns. I was like, you were the kids. She's like, no, me. She took all of them to the pool. She has like a pool in her community, and I get stressed out when I take my 2 kids to the pool, so I can only imagine taking all of them. But it was a really good weekend. We had fun. So yes, I'm back, and I'm going to a bachelorette party this weekend.
Oh, fun!
In Newport, so I'm going back up north. But cool. Yeah, the rain needs to go away. Rain, go away. But I want to start off, and then we're going to go into yours, about my mompreneur event that we did, because I haven't talked about it yet. And the last time I was on, I was about to host it, and it was everything and more. My goal was 40 people. We had 56 plus like people, so 56 plus speakers plus the staff. Wasn't really staff, it was like people helping me.
Wow.
And it was magical.
Wow.
Like everyone who walked out of that room was like, this was amazing, like, when is the next one? It was so it was just so good. Like, I have a meeting tomorrow with the planner from the studio that we hosted it at. And she's like, all right, let's get a date for the next one. Let's get tickets selling. Let's go. And I was like, oh my God. Like, it was everything I thought and more.
That's so great.
And yeah, it was also interesting because being back in like the planning phase of things, I forget that shit happens and out of your control, and you just have to like let it go kind of thing. Let it go, like Frozen. And shit happened. I won't go into detail about the shit that happened, but it happened, and we had to pivot multiple times during, and it just like reminded me about events and about everything, and like you just have to pivot. That's all you can do is just pivot.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody, again, back to like our role as vendors, nobody knows.
Right.
Except for you, because you're in it, and everyone was just like, this was awesome. This was amazing. This was just what I needed.
And nobody would have known.
Nobody would have known the behind the scenes that happened. It ended up obviously working out and being fine. But oh my God, it was awesome. And I did a survey after for all the attendees, and it was so positive. Like, I was looking for feedback, and the feedback that I got was still positive feedback. Like, no, there was nothing negative. Like, nobody had anything negative to say.
That's huge.
Which, you put 60 something women in a room, like, usually you're going to get some negativity. I mean, especially like powerful, you know, women business owners.
Yeah, somebody would find something or think, it could be better if.
It could be better if, But no, it was just everyone had positive things to say.
That's amazing.
The next one is coming soon. I'm probably going to do it at the studio again, because it just like the flow was great.
Good.
The atmosphere was great. Like, it was just, everything was awesome. So
what do you think you're going to do? Like an annual thing? More than that?
I think it's going to be quarterly.
Quarterly?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Even with busy season, because like one of the questions I asked the women attending, and there was also non-moms there, which I thought was just amazing. And they had like the most feedback. They were like, wow, being in that room was so powerful.
I saw that you reposted something on your story from somebody who was like, I'm not a mom yet, but like I want to be, and I'm considering like how it's going to change my life and my business. And just, she went to see what other people's experiences were like before she completely changed her life.
Yeah.
And that was really cool, because I wasn't expecting a lot of, I don't know, I wasn't expecting a lot of people to attend who were in that kind of boat. But when she was speaking about it, she was like, I'm not a mom yet, but I'm going to be soon. And like, I just wanted to hear from other people who are in the shoes that I want to be in, and how I can, you know, do things better now before it all begins. And it was just like so cool. And like, that's such a great experience and opportunity, I feel like, for somebody before they get started, which is the whole purpose, I think, of networking events too, is to be able to meet people and get to hear from their experiences before you do it yourself and learn from their mistakes. And that's the whole point of this podcast too. So I love that.
And I think one of like the most powerful comments I got was how comfortable they felt networking in the room.
That's
like,
so
they
good.
did, because I've been to a lot of networking events, and one of the things that I really dislike the most is when groups get very cliquey and people start seeing each other at the same networking events, which is the point of it. And then you get to know each other, but then you only talk to the people that you know at these events. And it's hard for someone who doesn't enjoy networking, who doesn't enjoy getting out of their comfort zone. Just getting to the venue is uncomfortable for a lot of people. Then you got to go put yourself in a conversation where people already know each other. That's even harder. And I feel like I did a really great job of, there were people who knew each other. Like, that's just how it's going to happen.
Right.
But I think I did a very good job of getting so many people who didn't know each other into a room, which allowed people to be more comfortable talking to each other. So that was like awesome, where like so many people were like, I got to talk to someone I didn't meet today. And that was also something that I said when I was on stage. I was like, your job today is to talk to people you don't know. Like, I tried to like emphasize it more.
I love that.
Because I feel like that helps people a little bit get out of their comfort zone. Like, oh, I have a task. Like, I have something that I have to do.
Yeah, you set the tone and you make a rule, and
It was awesome. So I'm really, really happy with it and excited to do it again.
That is so great.
Yeah. What have you been up to? Tell us about your...
Oh my goodness. I was also running some events, unrelated, but I was doing a bunch of theater this weekend and this week. So my business has been slacking, which I am so grateful for Taylor. Shout out to Taylor, my virtual assistant who's helping me with all my client communications. So she's been on it scheduling my like wedding prep calls that I have coming up, because we're about to get into the busy season. So now is like that phase, that era where I'm starting to do all of my like last minute calls with all of my May and June couples. So she's been on the ball, the absolute ball, scheduling those and reaching out to me and being like, I don't know, just like a list of things that I can just reach out. Yeah, I can just respond to her and like answer her questions, and she can reach out to everybody for me. It just has been making things, especially this week where I was just so crazy busy, just wonderful, just so much easier to deal with. And now all of the theater stuff is over and I'm back into my business. And this week, next week will be busy playing catch up with all of my emails and all of those phone calls. And I'm also going to set a goal for myself before I go to my retreat in 2 weeks, to finish all of my editing before I go, because a week before all of this theater stuff, I had an elopement, I had my first wedding for photo and video, I had an engagement session, and I had a branding session for Christina from Wild Lily.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I have a lot of editing to do, and I got all of the sneak peeks out before I had to go and do all my theater stuff, which was wonderful. But I really want to get it all kind of zipped and tied before I go away on my retreat, so I can really enjoy the experience and not be stressed and not have to edit anything else while I'm on the retreat, except for the things that I'm shooting at the retreat. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that, and just so pumped. I've never done like a sleepaway like retreat like this, and every time that you talk about it, I'm like a little bit jealous, like, oh, should I do that? I don't know. Yes. And I'm going with a friend who lives in Boston, but she's moving to California. The retreat is in Oregon. So we're going to meet each other there. We have a room together. It's like an Airbnb. Everybody is staying in the house together, all the speakers and everybody, I'm pretty sure. And then we're doing a shoot every day, I believe. And some people are speaking. So Chasing Sunsets, who we had on, Britt and Alex, they're speaking.
I love them.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. So I'm really, really, really excited, and just so pumped for the atmosphere. The woman that's running it is just phenomenal. Every time that she pops up in like my stories, she just seems like so chill, and I'm just so stoked. She sent like a little like outfit guide to the group chat to be like, hey, it's gonna be rainy, don't forget to bring a raincoat and boots, but also don't forget to bring cute pajamas so that we can all hang out on the couch at the end of the night. And it's just like, I'm so excited for the slumber party. It's gonna be fantastic. But yeah, the events that I was running, so I was helping out with the elementary school musical for my town. So freaking cute. So before all of the photography, before I started my business, I was a stage manager. So not running events, but running plays and musicals and things like that, which is pretty similar. It's the same, like pretty much the same amount of work, like creating the timelines, outreaching to people, making sure that everybody has what they need and is on track for their event. And as a photographer, that's me coordinating with my team and making sure that they have all the equipment that they need and they're prepared and they know where to go, and that the bride's vision is carried out with her photos. And that's the relationship that I would have as a stage manager working with a director, making sure that their vision is carried out for their show. And so that was my job. I was working with all the kids, 7 and 8 years old, putting on Rock of Ages Junior. And so I was running backstage, making sure all the scene changes happened and all the actors had their props and they were in their places. And that was my day on Friday and the whole week before. But the show was on Friday and Saturday. But unfortunately on Saturday, I couldn't go because I was running a different theater thing for the high schoolers of Connecticut. It's a one-act play festival. So it's 7 shows back to back to back to back, and it's a competition. So they win a bunch of awards for like acting and costume and lighting design and things like that. And then also like first place. And the schools that win, we send 2 schools to a New England festival, and then they do it all over again with different states from New England. So Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Connecticut, Mass, 2 schools from each of those states, and it's a 3-day festival. And so I don't participate in that because it's at a different state and it like rotates, but next year it's going to be held at Connecticut.
Oh.
Yeah, so next year, right before I move, next like March and May, I'm going to be running the Connecticut one. And then I will also have to be running the New England one for all the New England states, and that'll be a 3-day festival. So
awesome. Yeah,
it really is a lot of fun. And the kids just have such a fantastic time, and I like get like warm inside because I like remember what it felt like to be a kid in that experience and get to watch all of the other shows from the different schools and see other kids doing what I love to do so much in like their own different way and in their own school and with different shows, because some of them are comedies, some of them are like very serious, and it's just such a cool day. Yeah, it's just so cool to again be in a room with like-minded people and make new friends who are outside of your bubble. And I just loved that so much when I was a kid that now I replaced the lady who retired, and now I run it. So
I love that.
It's
and
so cool.
I love that you still like do your passion on the other side. You know what I mean? But to kind of bring that into business now, because I relate so much to that, because when I was planning this mompreneur event, again, luckily it was in my slow season. And I think it will become easier after the first one. Obviously, the first one's always the hardest, but my business totally got put on the back burner.
Same. And
I don't have an assistant. It is me. So I felt really bad for my business but again, it was off season, so I was okay with it all. But I think that goes back to the whole balance thing, where balance is such a joke. Like, you can't balance. Like, back to your scale that's right behind us. When one thing is taking all of your time, something else is going to be slacking. But I think that that's okay, because that was a season that I knew for a month and a half, I was going to be focusing on this event. Yeah. And it totally lit me up. It lit me a fire under my ass. And it also motivated me when I got back into my business, which was a week later. I was a whole different person getting in my business, because I had a different mindset. I was like, now I want to inspire these women again, where I'm going to run my business successfully. And I just feel like you get so crazy when like something happens, let's say personally, like last year when my kids were, things were going on in the personal life where my business was slacking. And it's okay. You just have to know that you have to pick back up your business, because if you don't, then we have to have a different conversation. Right. But I think it's okay to have other areas, because I think as entrepreneurs, that's what lights us up, when we get to do different things.
Actually, I was just going to say that it was kind of refreshing to not be working on my business, but still be really working hard on something else. Yeah. And being just as excited and passionate and just in something completely different, and then being there and being like, I'm having so much fun, but I really want to go home and work. Like, I'm so excited to get back into my editing this week, and like, I've just been itching for it. Like, it feels weird to not be doing it, and I'm like excited to go back into my business. I don't know, it's just like a nice, refreshing kind of break that like is different from taking a vacation, where like you're not doing anything else, you're in your relaxed time. Instead, like, working hard on something else is like, it was motivating to be like, I want to be working this hard again, but on my business. On my
it's
thing.
So funny
it was
to say
cool.
Vacation, because I was literally thinking, I'm like, it kind of is a vacation another way, but it's in a different way. Yeah. Like, you're vacationing on another fun thing in your life, and then you come back to your business. Yes. But like, you're in a new mindset, I feel like. Yeah,
it was like a mental vacation kind of, because I was working really hard still, but it was just
a different part of your brain was working.
Yeah.
And I think as my brain works crazy in so many different ways, as my friend would say, I'm an organized mess. I think I need other areas, and that's why but I think that's also why serial entrepreneurs are so successful, because you're able to work your brain in different ways. Meg's laughing because
it's true.
I think it's so true. Like, that's why in my off season I have to do something else, because I need to. It's almost like, I'm going to use a weird analogy, but it's almost like when you work out for a while and then you stop working out and it's so hard to get back into it.
Wouldn't know, but continue.
I think I wouldn't know either, because I don't work out. I'm going to use drinking as an analogy. When you drink all the time and then you stop and you try to drink again. Don't recommend that, because I drank too much this weekend. That's another conversation. But I think I need to keep going, and I need the momentum. And we all need a break. Like, let me also preference, you have to have breaks in your business, in your life, in everything. But I think as a seasonal business vendor, the break is so big. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't know. It's so slow for so many months that if I just didn't do anything, I think it would be really hard to get back into my business.
Elevate your photography business with Narrative Select. Focus more on creating and less on repetitive tasks like checking eyes, focus, or matching skin color tones. Say goodbye to slow software, load raw files in seconds, review images instantly, and export your selections to Lightroom in style with just one click. Call your photo shoots twice as fast using Narrative Select. Try Narrative Select plus Edit today with 1,000 free edits with the link below. Are you a content creator looking for the best music for your videos? Epidemic Sound is the best place to find music and effects to level up your work. I personally use Epidemic Sound for my wedding videos and have had an amazing experience. Using their search tools, I'm able to look for the perfect song for my clients by genre and mood. Select the Epidemic Sound offered keywords when searching, like dreamy, suspense, euphoric, to find the perfect match for you. Start your 7-day free trial of Epidemic Sound with the link below.
Come May and be like, oh, let's do, 6 events per month again and 2 events every single weekend. Like,
it is hard to get back into the flow of it. But see, for me, like, I like the calmness, so it is different there. And especially as a photographer, like, even though I'm not at an event, I'm still working the events that I had just had. So like, I didn't really quite have such a nice long slow season. I only had a couple of weeks until I had to do my first wedding. That was like 2 weeks ago. It's just different as a photographer because I was editing all of the weddings that I had in the fall. So just slightly different, but I feel you, I hear you, and I think that might be why I like video so much as well too, is because it's just it's my same business, and all the work that I do is like for the business, but it's like a different avenue, just like a different place for it. And I feel like the Mompreneur event is kind of synonymous with that for you, because it's like you get to work really hard on something that also makes you money with your business, but is different. It like lets you take that mental break to be like, okay, I put the vintage horse on pause for a day or a week or whatever, and I'm gonna go do this or go do the big event or like whatever, and then come back to it. And the theater thing for me, like, made a little bit of money from it. It's a little bit of a pinch of income, but it's like this is the only time that I do it like all year long, because I know that I cannot do both, because I love the theater thing so much. I hate it at the same time, but I do enjoy doing it. But when I do it, I like do it to my absolute best ability that I can, because so many people rely on it. Like the theater festival that I had, it was like 20 to 40 kids for each school for 7 schools. That's a lot of people that are counting on you and excited for it. And it's a lot of pressure. And I think that might be why, like, the wedding thing just feels so comfortable and natural for me as well, is because it's like I'm used to that, and I love that too. But I don't know, just that's what I've been up to.
So that was a little recap. Now today we have an interesting episode, because we had an idea for a different topic, but I think it's Monday here in Connecticut and our brains are not ready for that topic yet.
We're tired.
We're tired. So we kind of pivoted as we're allowed to. And today we kind of want to talk about not fully imposter syndrome, but all the terms of, I think right now our bookings are starting to come in, mine anyway. Like, this is the season where my bookings pick up for the fall and even for summer, because I do a lot of last minute summer parties.
Okay.
I don't know. My clients are just like, you know what? I am going to hire that mobile bar for 3 weeks from now. I'm like, oh God, okay, let's go. Even less time too, because that's just the season that we're in right now. So I am getting, the leads are starting to come in.
Got it.
But also the ghosting is coming in.
Got it.
And you get this sense of, why are they not responding? And I think we have to get that out of our head and more, I don't know. How do you feel about ghosting? Like, this isn't a topic about ghosting, but it goes into, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. It's okay to say no to potential clients if you feel that it's not the right fit. It's going to kind of be a topic around that social media makes you look like you're an amazing person, but realistically, you're getting ghosted all the time too.
Yeah, well,
so I guess
everybody's amazing people, but
yes,
successful, I guess.
Yes.
Amazingly, like, booked and busy and whatever.
Perfect.
And we've mentioned that before too, that like somebody's fully booked can be completely different than yours, because like for me, I'm a full-time business owner, no kids, nothing else. Like, I run my business hard and like that is it. And I'm moving next year. So I took on even more than I would have, knowing that I'm about to have like some pretty huge expenses, and I'm trying to do as much as I can.
What is fully booked, like a month for you? What does fully booked look like? Is it every weekend?
Every weekend, like 2 weddings, 2 or 3 weddings.
Okay.
That's my fully booked this year is like my physical capacity. Yeah. My fully booked last year would have been like one each weekend,
Yes.
2 each weekend.
Okay.
And now it's like 2 or 3 each weekend for me plus associates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember having the conversation about this because, again, everyone's fully booked looks very different.
Totally.
Someone's fully booked could be 2 events per month, and that taps them out. They're done.
Yeah.
But then they're going to post on social media that they're fully booked.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, how do they have
Yeah.
3 weddings per weekend and they're fully, but that's what you're thinking that they're fully booked
Yeah,
is.
like my fully booked this year is different from what it was last year. But I'm able to do that because I gave my business what it needed, which was my goal for 2025. So I have Taylor, my virtual assistant. I have Talia, my office assistant, who comes in to help me edit. I'm using Narrative, like hard. And
What is that?
It's my like photo picking program and an AI editing program. So
Awesome. Okay.
it like helps me see, it like zooms in on people's eyes, so I get to see who's like blinking for family photos. Like I get to pick the pictures way faster. Like I can cull through a wedding gallery in like 2 hours or less.
Got it.
Versus before, like when I
Game
was starting
changer.
my business, it would take me like half a day, like 4 hours to get through.
Just
like
to find the blinks.
yeah, right. So yeah, but just like each year you get better and you fine tune things. And so this year I knew like, okay, I'm going to be moving. I want to make as much as I possibly can, but also enjoy it as much as I possibly can, which means I need to divvy up my work.
Yeah.
And so that means I need to bring in more people, which I can because I'll be making more money to pay more people. So the associates, people are covering weddings in my place, and I'm getting faster at editing because of Narrative and because I'm also working with like a video editor. And I offer 2 wedding videos for my wedding video package. So I have one that's like a documentary style video that's like pretty much just the raw footage, like a home movie VHS style. It's like cut to cut to cut. Yeah. And then I do like the fancy polished highlight video. So I like offload one of them to the editor and then I'll do the other one. And that is going to save my life as well. So that, and then Narrative for the editing. Talia comes in to help me do the editing and box up USBs, the client gift boxes that I have. She helps me get all of their footage and photos onto a thumb drive for me to mail out. And then Taylor is helping me with all the communications. So I'm like, even though I'm like double booked from what I had last year or the years before, I'm not really worried about it. Like if I had this much on my calendar last year, I would be like, I can't do that. Yeah. And I would have had a absolute meltdown and freak out. But because I have had absolute meltdowns and freakouts in the past, I'm like, how can I book what I need to book financially, but then also like give everybody the attention that they deserve and the quality of work and give myself a life that I also deserve from working so hard.
Yeah. I love that because I've seen your whole journey and I know what you went through that first year where you were like, your editing season, you went on a vacation, you were like, I'm going to finish before, and you didn't. Your like family trip, I think Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And you didn't finish, and you were like, I was stressed the whole vacation because I knew in the back of my head I had to edit and whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we've had so many conversations around this, and like just to hear your growth is amazing.
Thank you.
And I feel like I'm the same way with mine because I am learning that it's okay to say no to potential clients for me. Whereas 3 years ago, I said yes to everything. Mm-hmm. And then I'm doing the event and it's an hour and a half away. Then it's almost 2 hours because we get stuck in New England traffic.
Right.
Then we're there later than expected. We don't get home until later. And I just realized that not only does it not do justice for me personally, I'm also having my team travel now. And my whole goal of this year was to not work as many weddings or events or whatever it is so that I could focus on the back end. And again, not be as stressed because I'm not up until 2 a.m. in the morning and then have to clean everything and get everything ready for the next week. I'm now strategically having my girls do the events, but I'm not going to have them travel 2 hours before. Like, it's okay for me to do that. I own the business. It's not okay for them to do that and not get paid to do that. And then I'm like, now I'm paying them extra and I'm not working and all the things. But I've learned this year that it's okay to say no to potential clients that don't serve you.
Yeah.
And that took a long time for me to realize because as an entrepreneur, you want to say yes to everything. Yeah. You want every nickel and dime, but you start to learn that that's not how you should run your business. Yeah. You have to run your business how you feel is going to be the right thing for your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you're the one working with them.
Yeah.
And even if it's not you and it's your girls, like same for me, like I'm trying to be strategic as well with the associate bookings. Like I'm not going to take every associate wedding, like every wedding that reaches out to me. I like, if I'm already booked, I would love for an associate to take my place and to work with them. But I'm also being strategic of like, do I like their vibe? Can my associates and myself achieve the thing that they're asking me for? Like if something feels off about it, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because I won't be there, I'm going to send somebody else. Yeah. No, I want them to have a great experience too, you know? So I'm with that. And I didn't even answer your question about ghosting. So I'll get into that as well. But I feel the same way. Like I don't consider somebody booked, or I don't even really like consider somebody with my business at all until they send me the contract and retainer payment. So
Ooh, I like that.
Okay, well, thank you. So like, even if somebody reaches out to me and like sends an inquiry, I don't put it in my calendar. I don't even like, I'm not gonna say I don't blink an eye, because obviously like I get really excited about some of them, of course. But even when I have a phone call with them, I'm not considering like them in my calendar or anything else. I take due diligent notes, and I jot things down, and I put like a tentative like question mark wedding, you know, Adam and Eve, whatever. But I don't, you know, if they never get back to me and it's been a couple of months and I go back into my calendar and I see it and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Oh, well, delete. And sometimes if it's like somebody I was really, really, really excited about, or like it's been, you know, not months, but maybe a few weeks and I haven't heard from them and I can remember, I'll shoot them a little email and be like, hey, so beep, 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 beep. And actually I'm doing this with a couple right now. I did that with them and they were like, yes, we are really excited about you. It's just when we got the invoice, it was a little bit more than what we were expecting or what we had budgeted for. And so in that instance, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad that it wasn't anything with me. I'm glad that it was, you know, let's figure out how we can make it work, because I really love you guys too. Maybe we can cut this and make it work. And so hopefully, you know, they're going to be booking with me. But again, like I don't have them written in my calendar. They're not booked yet. And I'm not gonna bother really, because like somebody else could come who could pay the full price and who is equally just as excited, and maybe that's the couple I'm supposed to be with. Like, I don't know. So I don't really mind the ghosting thing. I know it sucks, but I'm fortunate that I have the number of inquiries and bookings that I don't really worry about it too much.
Yeah. So I'm going to flip that for a second.
Please.
Because when I was when I was in my mobile bar coaching program last year, one of the things that she was very like keen on was following up 13 times in 21 days. And I was like, I can't grasp my head around this. Like, I just can't. Like, that's not something that I feel that I can do. And it was very interesting because I did start doing it not that many times, but a little bit more than I typically would do. And I did start to see more of a response than I did. And I learned that when someone is putting an inquiry in to you, they're also doing it to 12 other people.
Right.
And I feel like we forget that as vendors. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm like, oh, they're putting a lead in. Like, I'm the only one. I don't think that. I know that that's not true. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, they really like me. They took the time to fill out my form, to fill out this. I'm like, maybe they're really interested. So I have a totally different mindset. And I love that your mindset is more like, they're not with me until they sign a contract.
I try not to get attached. Yeah.
Yes. You know, I get attached to everyone, and then I get pissed when they don't answer me, and I need to get that out of my head. I've definitely learned, and I've also learned that I'm leaning more into the universe, and I truly feel that the ones who were quote unquote ghosting me are the ones who weren't a good fit anyway. And the universe just allowed them to not answer, and that's why they're ghosting me.
Yeah.
So I put that in my brain. But I also think that people do need that extra push. And I think that I use HoneyBook, and my HoneyBook system does its own follow-ups now for me.
Good.
So that has helped a lot. And then and I also think it's very helpful to use a really catchy subject line on that first follow-up. And it was like, one of the ones that works for me is like, let's make your wedding unforgettable, or let's make your bar I forget what it is, but one of them that also really works is, do you have any questions? Because I think that inspires them, like, wait, do I have any questions?
Right.
And
It's like
then
a call to
open,
action.
Yeah, it's a call to action, and they open the email and they see what I have to say. So I think, like, it's very important on your follow-up. It should not be like following up, which I used to do all the time, guilty. And I think, like, they're probably getting 12 of those emails that say follow-up question mark.
Yeah, if I get any emails that are like checking in, I'm
Yes.
always like, ugh, I don't want to open it.
I don't want to open it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It needs to be a very catchy subject line.
Yeah.
And I found that out in my newsletters too. Like, I've been looking more at my open ratio rates and, like, what I'm putting out there versus what people are opening. And the one where it's like, I mean, this one was about the mompreneur event, and it was like, God, I don't even remember what the subject line was, but my open rate was the highest I've ever had.
Wow.
And I know that it was because of the subject line. And I think it was like, I don't even know. I really should remember what it was, because it would have really been beneficial to our audience right now. But anyway, the subject line means so much because you have to understand your clients are getting, I don't know what your Gmail looks like, but my Gmail has about 12,000 emails, actually probably way more than that. And as a bride, you're getting all these vendors who are following up with you. So I think a phone call is a huge difference maker when you're following up with people. And unfortunately, I don't do that all the time unless it's someone who I really want to connect with, that I will give them a call. Or it's okay to send them a text message now. Like, I text clients now too.
Okay.
Because when they fill out their form, they put their number in.
Right.
And I feel if they put their phone number in, they want me to reach out to them. So if it's like a big wedding and it's a date that I have open and it's a date that I really want, I'll send them a text message and be like, hey, just sent over a proposal. Let me know if you have any questions.
Okay.
Like, short, simple, sweet, to the point.
Yeah.
And two things happen there. I think they have my contact. So if they have any questions, it's going to be so much easier to communicate. And I feel like the clientele of a bride right now is a texting bride.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, like, email is old school. Like, but you have to use email. Like, that's just what it is. But I feel like if I was a bride and a vendor was texting me a short, simple, sweet, to the point, whatever, I would be like, oh, wow, they're very, like, excited to work with me kind of thing.
Right.
So that works for me.
Cool.
Again, we don't have that intimate conversation. Like, you either want a bar for your wedding or you don't. Like, let's call that what it is. Like, we're not having that intimate experience until closer to.
Right.
Which maybe that's wrong of me to think, because
I think you're on the money with that, because and then that's why I do a phone call, like, at the jump, like, to book, like, we do a phone calls, because I do work with them so intimately that if I didn't, like, I wouldn't know if it's going to be a good experience on the wedding day or not. So, like, I need to hear their tone of voice, see how excited they actually are, hear from them on what their priorities truly are on their wedding day, and if I feel like those same things are important to me. You know, if a bride is really excited about, like, the pajama photos with her bridesmaids, like, sitting and cheesing, I'd be like, okay, I can do that for you, absolutely, but I don't know if that's, like, my style. Yeah. I was like, how about, like, a dance party instead? And then, like, hear from them on what they think on things like that, because that's, like, what I need to do. So I'm not a texter. I don't like it when people text me for my business. I always tell them that I'm going to retract that, because I always tell people that they can, and I'm fine with it. I am fine with it. I'm not going to say that I don't like it. The reason why I don't like it is because I always forget to text them back. That's my issue. I'm struggling with having a business/personal phone. I feel like in the future for me, I might have a business phone as well, because my text messages get really clogged and cluttered with, like, personal chats. And I always freaking forget. I'll be scrolling through my notifications before you can clear your lock screen. And I do that every now and then just to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm fresh. And sometimes I'll scroll down and be like, 2 weeks ago from so-and-so, hey, want to chat Tuesday? And it's like from 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh gosh, that's on me.
I think you know that. I think
terrible.
But you can mark your texts unread now.
Yeah.
So
but
I do
even
that.
I don't respond to every text I get.
I have to say though, my clients really don't text me.
Okay.
Like, after that initial thing,
people text me.
So at that point, I say, hey, can you send me an email? If we're texting too much, where I know that I'm going to forget, then I'll say, thank you so much for reaching out. this is usually after they're already booked. So we've already built that relationship. I have to say, when I do text them, they'll respond to me and say, oh, thanks, I'll check it out. Or they don't respond, one or the other.
Okay.
Which at that point, I'm fine with you ghosting me because, again, we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
But I feel like the ones who do appreciate it are the ones who are going to book more.
Yeah.
That's just, I think we're two different vendors in that situation. Yours is so much more intimate, so they're going to feel a deeper connection with you.
Totally.
And probably want to text you more. Whereas mine, it's not like that. It's like, okay, I appreciate you texting me. I'm going to look at the proposal. I'm either going to respond to the proposal or I'm not, kind of thing.
Yeah. And I'm cool with the chat. I just feel really bad that I forget about it.
I get that.
That's my thing. And it doesn't mean that I'm
text you back.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't mean anything like negative or that I don't care to respond, or I'm not, but it's not important to me to respond or anything like that, because I do want to. I just literally will see the message and be like, oh yeah, awesome, and then be like, okay, but I'm in the middle of something, and then I'll finish what I'm doing, and then I'll be like in the shower or in the car and be like, oh yeah, I need to text them back. What am I gonna say? Okay, and then I'll respond in my head and forget that nobody can hear it, and and that's my issue. It's just a personal issue, but anyway.
No, I get that, and it doesn't work for everyone, but I think for me, it's been, and again, I'm saying 1 in 5 I do this too, and it's just the one that I really want to open that proposal right away, kind of thing. It's the 150 person wedding for a date that I have available, and it's local, and I'm like, let's go.
Sold.
Cool. Let's go.
Cool.
You are my ideal client.
Perfect.
Right now.
Yeah.
But I don't do that to everyone.
Okay.
So anyway, falling into I think we're going to also go into a little bit of social media, because this was something that we got excited talking about earlier today. And I think the whole ghosting, imposter syndrome, all this totally stems from social media. And I think it's a vendor to vendor thing too, where we get the imposter syndrome from looking at other vendors who look like they have their shit together, who look like they're fully booked, whatever that means to them.
Right.
And then we go in the spiral, and I say we as in me, I go in the spiral of like, oh my God, how are they doing so well? And how am I slacking over here? Versus someone who's outside could be looking at me saying, oh my God, she's fully booked. She's amazing. Right. How does she do it all?
And low-key could be the same person. Yeah. You could be looking at somebody and being like, wow, they have their stuff together. They're incredible. They're fully booked. And they might be thinking the exact same thing about 100%. You. And it's just the way that you present yourself on social media, because at least for me, the purpose of my social media is, yes, to be inspired and to chat with other vendors and to network that way. But like when I'm talking about my bookings, I'm not talking to my vendor friends. I'm talking to my potential clients or my clients. Yeah. So it's the same space. So it's hard, because when you're seeing posts from other vendors being like, oh, I had such a great year last year, here are my numbers, or like, this is my calendar, this is what I have left available. It's like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you, and it's hard as like a viewer of somebody else's Instagram page or stories or whatever, or TikTok, to see like another vendor communicating with their clients or potential clients and watching it and being like, this isn't for me, but like, I'm going to snoop, kind of a thing. And it makes you get in your head, because they're trying to sell themselves. So they're trying to tell the world like, look at me. I can do this, like, book with me. They're in their sales pitch. Yeah. And as a vendor, it's like, it makes you feel bad watching their sales pitch, but like, it's not for you. Click off. It's okay.
So I love this. Do you post your book dates on your social media?
No, I did a couple of years ago, and I booked clients because of it, because they would see that I booked a couple of people that way. Yeah, I posted my calendar.
How did you know that? They told you?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I posted my calendar on my stories, or like a pinned post on my feed or something, and I had it was like a Canva template, and I like circled which ones were partially booked so I could do like an engagement session, and then which ones were fully booked for like a wedding, which means I'm off. And a couple people reached out to me and were like, oh, I saw you had my date available. So knowing that I was already available made them reach out. Okay. So that was kind of cool. But now things happen last minute. Like I just don't have I can't do that anymore. I'm like busy with more calls and stuff now, because I have more clients that I did back then, that it's like my calendar day to day is way more up in the air than it used to be. So I can't do that anymore. But
see, I cringe on that. And I think that is like when I see other mobile bars posting their availability and
photographers
dates,
do it all the time. Yeah.
I'm like, ew, stop. Like, don't, no,
stop.
Don't
but it's not for you.
Exactly.
And I booked clients that way.
I know. That's
so
great. It's I don't know.
Tough.
I also think, love all of you vendors, but I also think they lie. This is just, again, I think
they're in their sales pitch.
My opinion.
Yeah.
If they have like a personal thing on that weekend, they put that they're booked, even though they're not, because they're booked. It's just a personal reason that they're booked.
Well, they should just say unavailable then.
Well, yeah, but that's not the sales pitch on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get so cringy when I see someone doing that. As another mobile bar, now I don't think I would care about like a wedding planner or a photographer. Maybe it's just mobile bar to mobile bar.
I don't know.
Like, girls, stop, or boys, stop. Like, don't do that. I don't know why that is like such a pet peeve to me. I think I honestly think I did it the first year, and I did the Canva template and I put whatever. But then I'm also like, I don't want other people to know, like other vendors to know that I'm open all these dates, or I'm not. I don't know. I feel really weird about it. So
yeah, but you want potential clients to know that you'd be available.
Yeah, true.
So it's really tough. It would be nice if Instagram or these different spaces could have like a toggle thing of like when you follow that vendors. It's like, yeah, like if you're like a business page, it would be so cool if you know you could separate like your feeds and be like vendor friends versus like clients.
Do that, but it's different because you can do it, but you couldn't do it on Instagram where it's like my friends only. That like green star they used to have. Do they still have that?
Oh,
or it's
that's
like close friends.
That's like a close friends story list where like you can select people to be on it. But I can't go, and you especially, you can't go through all of your like 10,000 following accounts or whatever.
Right.
To be like vendor friend, you know, client, you know, that
I don't even know how that works.
I can't even do that.
Like you have to go and click who you want to see it. Oh,
yeah, that would take.
Now I feel special because I'm clicked on some people's stories.
Yeah, no, I have one on my associate team page. I made like an associate Instagram so that I could post their work because I don't want to post it on my own personal photography page. So I'm posting their photography on a separate page now. It only has like 80 followers or something like that, but I'm not concerned. I just wanted a space where I could like post like a portfolio of their pictures with my editing, and that's what it's for. I'm not like going to be anal about like the numbers. Like I don't really, I'll just use it as a space to be like, oh, and if somebody reaches out to me, I'll be like, oh, that's fantastic. Like so excited. I'm not available or like I'm out of state, but like you can look at this portfolio that has like all of their pictures with their names and like who's who.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's kind of what it's for. But I have like a close friends thing on that, and I have toggled on it my associate team so that I can post a story to like the world, and then I can post a story to my associate team and be like, hey, I need a photographer for this date, and they can swipe up there. So that's why that's what I use my close friends story for. But
yeah, well,
anyway,
I know. And back to social media, just not to like hone in on this, but I mean, I feel like you can't say this enough. What people put on social media is not real life. It is their highlight reel, and I feel like you can say that so many times, but people still don't believe it. They're like, no, like this is really how their life is. No, it is not. It is not. When
could be a section. Yeah.
It's a piece of their story. Like it is not, it's a chapter. It's not the whole book.
Right.
And I feel like you have to really understand that when you're getting into your imposter syndrome. And I feel like I'm an exact reason of like not a reason. I'm a example of this. Like my social media portrays that we do very, very well, and we do very well. I'm not saying we don't. I'm very blessed that I have such a successful, amazing business, but I say this all the time. Like I am a hot mess behind the scenes and that's okay. This is how my life works.
Right.
But like I yell at my kids, but I'm not going to yell at them on social media. You know, like I am scrambling to get shit done behind the scenes on events, but when I'm at the event, shit goes perfect.
Right.
But that's my chaotic, organized brain, and that works for me. But like, I'm not going to put that on my reel, you know? So like, yes, when we're at the events, everything is perfect, but you don't know behind the scenes what it took for us to be that perfect person. Like the other day, one of my bartenders, I asked her to print a menu for me, and she was going to the event by herself, and she literally texted me, and she was supposed to be there at a certain time, and I knew that there was going to be traffic too, and she was doing a solo event by herself. And she texted me and she was like, I forgot the bar menu. I'm 10 minutes from my house, but I'm going to be late. And I was like, go get the bar menu. Like, we have to have that. Like, you have to go get that. So then the client was texting me because I told the client that she was going to be there at a certain time. And it was like 20 minutes late at this point. She was like, hey, just wondering, you know, what time the bartender is showing up. I was like, oh, she's almost there. And it was fine. She was ready. She was actually ready before the time because I scheduled them obviously early to get there anyway. But like, nobody knew she had to go back and get the bar menu.
Right.
They just thought she was late, and she really wasn't late. She asked me, I told her to go back and get the bar menu, but it's like nobody sees that. They just see the highlight reel. The bar menu was on the bar. It didn't show her stressed as hell, you know, scrambling to get to the event.
Well, because some things are relatable content and should be posted, and some things, even if they are relatable content, should not be posted. And that's one of those things. It's like, if you had like a vendor feed, that would be relatable content for like your bartender friends or business friends to be like, oh, heard, been there. But like for other like potential clients, like those side of things on your Instagram, it'd be like, no, like I would not want a potential bride to feel unsafe with me for any reason. But if I were to see another vendor be like, oh my God, I was driving in the wrong direction on the way to this wedding, I'd be like, been there. I was on my way to New York instead of Connecticut. Oops. You know, like you know, but like I would not want like
my client to
know know that because I still arrived on time. You know, so that just it's things happen, but
I feel like this season we need
it shows
to
who's a professional.
Write down all the funny things and just have one episode and be like, clients don't listen, which is going to make them want to listen even more. But just like a vendor aha episode where
we should like, that would be so much fun. We should do like a wine night and do that or something. Like a cozy like fireside chat kind of thing.
Done.
We should do that. I feel like we have a lot of ideas on the podcast and then we never do them.
Put it in your phone right now.
Okay, I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay, so we're here and we're like thinking of a new episode, and Megan's like, let's go through our text messages because the ones that we don't reply to each other. But that was last week. We couldn't record because welcome to New England. Megan had a tree down. Literally, I could not get into her house because she had a tree down with power out, all the things. And she's like, well, I can come meet you past the tree. I'm like, no, we are going to reschedule. But I love you for that, by the way.
I was like, if you want to do it like in your car, the side of the road, I'll just like walk underneath it. It's okay. It was like this giant tree like sitting on the power lines.
She
like
sent me a picture.
You could not drive through it.
No,
it was terrible.
And I was like, you're not walking under it either. Get out of here. Oh my God. But yeah, this is our life. Talk about like, nobody would have known that ever if we didn't say it. Nobody would have known. We literally could not record a podcast because there was a tree down. Oh, the things that we go through. But anyway, that was basically to sum up kind of the thing that everyone talks about, like stop referring to social. And I think people are getting better about this. Do you agree with that? Like, I think people are getting better of understanding that social media is a highlight reel. And like, I think one thing that I do, and anytime I have like a friend who complains about another vendor, I'm like, mute them. You can mute them on your social media. You can unfollow them too, but then they obviously know that you unfollow them. But you can mute them. And what that means is you no longer see their content unless you specifically search for them. They're not going to come up on your stories. They're not going to come up on your feed. And it's like out of sight, out of mind kind of thing.
Right.
And I had to do that for some vendors because the imposter syndrome was becoming so hard. And I'm not going to lie, I've done it with other mobile bars who I feel like are legit copying my shit. And everyone says like, oh, you should be like, what do people say? Like you should
be
flattered. I call bullshit on that. No, it is not flattery. You work really hard, and I'm sure I've copied other vendors too. I'm not sitting here saying I haven't.
I mean, there's trends, you know, but
yes.
There, to an extent, a trend is a trend, and inspiration's inspiration.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it gets to be blatant copying, like word for word, or like event for event, or thing for thing, drink for drink, like to a point, it's disrespectful.
Yeah, like we have this new way that I'm probably going to do it for the rest of the year, and I'm doing a fabric to be our menu.
Oh, I love that.
And it's like
that's a trend.
That hangs down.
But that's not copying.
But I haven't seen any other mobile bars doing that. So here's your PSA. If I see you, I know that you're copying me. I'm just kidding.
No.
I don't really care that
I've been
much.
seeing the fabric trend thing at weddings. My first wedding like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Front door, you know, and a couple of summer weddings from last year.
Yep.
I think it's like a new common thing. But don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. But that's the thing. Like, you get in your head where, like,
do.
you think you're the first one doing it. And I don't think I'm the first one doing it. I absolutely saw this from someone else.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it locally. And you try
Right.
to do things where you haven't seen it locally before. So you're like, all right, I'm going to do something that stands out, that's different.
Right.
Then you start to see everyone else doing it. And maybe they already did it last year. You just didn't see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, she copied me, I copied her, all,
Yeah.
you know, the rabbit hole that you go down. So I think, like, that's where you just have to stay in your own lane when it comes to your specific niche of, like, yes, get inspiration from other people, be inspired, but try to put your own spin on it.
Do you want to talk about your white bar? Or is that over and done with?
No, actually, I booked it more this year than I've booked it at all.
Cool.
Yeah.
With like the other vendor thing that happened last year, the Facebook thing. Do you want to get into that or to let it go?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can. Okay.
Okay.
So what Megan's referring to is,
I know we already debriefed, but it was a year ago.
Yeah. So I built this white bar, which, again, I'm not the first one to ever build a white bar, obviously. And I was in a Facebook group and I posted, like, holiday parties or whatever. And
it's like a satellite bar.
Yes,
like you move it around.
Yep. It folds up. It goes very easily into our truck. And then basically we do it for cocktail hour. And then we also use it for if it's a smaller event or if someone just wants, like, an indoor bar. So someone commented on my post, which it was in, like, a wedding group page or whatever. And it was a Connecticut wedding group page, to be specific. And someone commented, and I don't know exactly what they said. I wish I did. But it was like, oh, this looks just like so-and-so. I'm not going to use their name, but so-and-so's bar. Like, way to copy them. And I'm like, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's rewind. I knew when this bar started. It was 2 years after me. I already had a satellite bar prior to them even starting their business. And I'm like, whoa. Now, what I could have done was respond and been like, oh, that's funny. I've been in business for way longer than them and blah, 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 blah. But what I did instead was I liked their comment and I moved on. And I didn't say anything.
That's like...
So it was kind of like a fuck you.
Yeah, it was kind of like a little petty, but I'm glad that you just moved on with your day. And that's the professional thing to do.
Yes. And I...
Be like, I saw your comment. Don't care.
Yes. And it took everything inside of me not to respond and be like, well, that's funny because I could have gone off. But I'm like, what does that serve me? And what does that serve anyone looking at that comment too? Like a potential customer who's going to see that I was catty and I responded to this person. Like, it does nothing.
You'd be like, ooh, I don't know if I like Jen actually.
Right. She's a bitch. Like,
yeah.
Why did she respond?
No, but if you get
way?
fired up, that's when you reach out to your vendor friends and post that on your relatable vendor friend feed. Close friend story.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
But there's always going to be the catty people, and there's nothing that you could do about it. And this is where it goes back to people being like, oh, you should feel flattered that, you know, they loved your work so much. And I think that annoys me even more. And I'm just like, no, I'm going to be angry about it. I'm going to be angry internally. I'm going to bitch to my vendor friends about it. And then we're going to move on and call it a day.
I think it's natural for the first impression to be angry and upset about it. Because I not that this has happened to me at least that much that I remember, but I also try not to I don't know. I kind of try not to pay attention at the same time. It's like I like to see what my other vendor friends are doing, but like I don't know. I like try not to think too hard about, and it's something that I like going back to the vision board that we had up with like the old picture of me, then the new picture of me, and I was talking about that whole chat that we had about me getting kind of like imposter syndrome, seeing other photographers editing and things like that and being like, oh, I wish I had stayed true to myself and like kept going. It's been like a long circle back to that, to where I've learned to kind of let go of what other people are doing and look at it purely as like, wow, that's so like, it's as if I'm in like a museum or something and I see somebody's thing come up on my feed and I like look at it and I appreciate it for what it is, but that's like, I didn't do that and it's not me. And like, I could do that if I wanted to, but like, that's their thing. And I need to respect that that's Van Gogh. And, you know, like, I'm not Van Gogh, you know? Does that make sense?
100%. And I love that because I actually became very, very close with a few Connecticut bars. And I think it's because we have such a respect for each other that anything they post, I love naturally. and I think it's because I like them as humans, and I got to know them, and I got to like, we're not competition. Like, we actually refer each other business,
Right.
and we became friends,
Right.
and we support each other. And I feel like that's not going to happen with everyone. And I feel like I stopped looking at other local bars for that exact reason. Like, appreciate what they're doing, but I'm going to stay in my own lane and do my own kind of thing. And I don't think I realized that till you just said it. But I think that that's like the best advice that we could give is like, yes, get a little inspiration from everyone else on social media, but truly stay in your lane. And the clients are going to hire you for you and who you are and what you bring to their table.
Right.
And if they wanted to hire them, they would have hired them.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a healthy mindset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah. And I think with like the fabric banner menu thing, like,
Don't copy me.
no, but it's like that. It's like, that's a trend that's going around. That's like a selling point that brides are going to be looking for.
Yep.
It's good that you're doing that, but like, you're not surrounding your whole business model over your like menu fabric.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a little added sparkle of something that is coming around quickly, and you're gonna be on the boat before it takes off. Like, I think that's all that it is.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's great,
100%.
but you're not saying I'm the vintage horse and my new thing is
fabric
linens.
menus.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They're also so hard to do. I'm hoping that I stick with this, but I mean, I make them myself, and they are the hardest thing because for whatever reason, the vinyl doesn't want to stick, or the iron-on doesn't want to stick to the fabric. Oh God. And you know me, I do my menus the night before. Or the day of. We got there this year.
See, you can say that to me off camera. Nobody needs to know.
No one's gonna know. Back to the vendors.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
That's funny.
You have to figure out a way to stand out. Like, that's kind of what we're going at. And
yeah.
if you're going to be the same as everyone else and you're going to do the same thing as all your competition, why are they going to hire you?
And what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, why run your business then?
Yeah.
Kind of low-key. Exactly. Like, if it already exists, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah. We actually have some new exciting things coming down the pipeline this year. Should I share them?
Ooh, wait.
Yeah.
Who's we?
So Janelle, one of my main bartenders.
Okay.
She is a baker. She loves baking, but she's just like good at like creating things in the kitchen or in a kitchen. And I think we're going to do popsicles this year.
Ooh,
yeah,
cool.
I'm super excited. We already started doing infused ice cubes. And I'm like, Janelle, if you want to take on this role, you are going to be taking on this role because I can't. And she's like, I'm here. Let's go.
Oh, that's
like,
so
I'm
cool.
done. So the past few events, even for, we had do you know Stepping Stones Museum in Norwalk? So it's a children's museum. Why would you? It's a children's museum. But it's been around for 25 years.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to it as a child?
No.
I didn't either. I mean, I guess I was older at that point. Anyway, I'm spiraling.
Keep going.
I did their gala, and it was 400 people, and it was awesome. And Janelle was like, let's do ice cubes. And I was like, no way. We can't do ice cubes for 400 people. Like, no. She's like, I'm doing it. I was like, okay. And it made the difference. She
Really?
did, one of the drinks was strawberry, mint, and lemon, and honey. So she did strawberry, mint, honey infused ice cubes.
Whoa.
And then the other one was a bourbon, I forget exactly what it was, but she did like an orange peel and something else in the ice cubes.
Whoa, that's
and
so
she
cool.
made I think she did 150 of each cube. I was like, you're wild. But she has these cute little trays that like come out perfectly. So we will be doing those this year.
Wow, that's cool.
And then this will be an upsell to popsicles, 100%. Like, you have to buy them if you want us to do them.
Letting your team shine too.
Yes.
Everything that we chatted about with Devin, it's like, that's a new selling point of your business.
Yeah.
That happened because of somebody else. Like, just accepting their help and accepting that they wanted to do it and they were excited to be part of the team too.
Yes.
Like, that is so cool.
Yeah, she's wanted to step up for
I love
the
that.
past year, and I'm finally allowing her to step up, and it's making such a difference, and
That's
it's
so
making my
cool.
life easier. Like, another example is we had an event this weekend, and she had supplies for something at her house, and she's like, I'll just do this portion of it. And I was like, wait, really? And then Thursday night, I wasn't going to go out from my friend's book club that I don't read the books for. I just go for the wine and cheese. But anyway, and I was like, I'm not going to go. I have so much to get ready for this event. And when she texted me, it was like, I'll do this, I was like, wait, really? And she's like, yeah, I have everything. Like, I'll do it. I was like, okay.
And
So
you
I was
went to-
able to go to book
Oh
club
my
with my friends
God.
and have a great night. I haven't seen my friends in so long. Yeah, it's like back to
That's
letting people
fantastic.
help you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's very hard. And we're not sitting here saying that is easy by letting other people help you. But we're sitting here telling you that it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Just like hiring Abby, my book.
Yeah.
I did it, guys. April 1st, and Megan was like, wait, you're not playing an April Fool's joke, right? I was like, no, I'm playing an April Fool's joke on myself. Like, haha, you had to hire her and you did. So I'm letting people help me this year, and it's gonna be great. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So I think we're wrapping up today's episode.
Yeah.
Kind of went in rants in many different directions, but I feel like it was helpful. So to close, imposter syndrome is a thing, but don't let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Let other people help you. Don't copy your competition.
And don't take ghosting to heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
okay if they ghost you.
Yeah. Try again. Reach out again. If nothing happens, then let them go.
Yeah,
and
we're
that's
also
fine.
not saying don't follow up. Like you
Yeah.
need to follow up with your clients.
Yeah.
Maybe not 13 times, but
Right. That's too much for me.
but you need to follow up
Yeah.
with your clients.
And in a creative, exciting way, not following up. Yeah.
Not checking in as your subject.
Mm-hmm.
Ask ChatGPT, write 10 fun captions for
Yeah.
a follow-up email. Like
Let's
literally
do
that's what I
this.
do.
Yeah. Whatever.
So
That's one of
my
mine.
response to my, like, when you put a lead in on my like website, my response is, you have great taste.
Oh, I love that. Mine's let's chat, because I want to set up a phone call. So I make it a
Yeah. Let's chat. Yeah.
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 Oh, you have great taste.
You have great taste. It's like you're gonna taste cocktails. You have great
Mhm.
taste in what you like want, and then the whole thing is like, we'll get back to you within a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to celebrate with you
Oh,
and
that's
all the
so
things.
clever.
But like, I think it's just like that one pun is like catchy. It's like, yeah, I do.
Oh my gosh! Wait,
Yeah, I
now
have good
now my
taste.
mind is racing of like,
But I
picture
asked-
this.
Yeah.
Now I need to like think of something.
Yes.
Oh my
Picture
gosh!
us working together.
Yeah.
Picture us.
Picture this,
chatting.
you and me.
But yes, how
That's
are
so
you
cute.
standing out with your competition?
Yeah.
Like, what is setting you aside? And
Yeah.
like, I know there's like Claude, but I think you have to pay for that. But ChatGPT is free. And I'm pretty sure I got that from being like, write a funny response to a new lead that's coming in. And now ChatGPT knows me. They know my wording. They know my business because it's my business bestie. And it came out with like 10 different subject lines. And then to dive even deeper, if you like 2 of them, say, okay, these are my 2 favorites, write me 10 more. And then you'll find one out of it of one that you really liked. And you have great taste was the one that sold for me.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
Wow.
all right, well, wrapping up today because I need to go get some work done.
Gotta go dash.
gotta go.
Yeah.
But thanks for chatting with us.
Yes.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. And
Yeah. Maybe Jen solo. We'll see. We're trying to figure
Yes.
out our schedules with the retreat that I'm headed out to.
Yes,
But,
I told Megan that. She's like, we
it
could
out.
do one on the retreat. I said, absolutely not. Although that would be really fun. And you can have Megan or Brittany pop her little head in.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know. We'll think about it.
We'll think about it, maybe. But yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks. And thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Leave us a review. We need some reviews, guys.
Yes.
Leave us reviews so we get higher in the...
Yeah, we're Apple, Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, and video episodes on YouTube.
Yes. All right. Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.